BRC keeps telling us this is the fairest barrier in Australia.
Fairest start in Australia for sure and certain. We'll start from 17, so I hope it's pretty fair to me on Saturday.
Tell us about Antino. It's been going pretty well. I mean, the Victory Stakes was great, and then, of course, storming home in the Kingsford Smith.
Yeah, his Victory Stakes win was really good. He was first up for the prep, and it was a helter-skelter race, and he was off the bridle the way out, and really strong late. The Kingsford Smith is the run he needed to have, I guess, to be ready for the Stradbroke. 1,300 at that level was always going to be a little bit tough at weight for age. Handicap conditions of the Stradbroke, right up his alley, up to the 1,400, spot on for him.
James Cummins talking tonight, saying, is there a cut-and-dried leader amongst this field?
Well, I think Prince of Boom looks the leader. It's just there's a bunch of horses that want to find that spot just behind lead. So whether that generates more tempo or not, you've got a lot of light-weighted horses being a handicap that may push forward and roll the dice. And I guess from where we're drawn with where we'll be in the run, which is the second half of the field, that's what we want. We want a bit of pressure. Mostly Stradbrokes build in pressure, and you need a strong horse late. And I've got the right horse, I just got to get the right run.
We know you've been telling us about Antino for ages. For anyone that want to listen, you love Antino, don't you?
Yeah, I love him, and he's a out-and-out Stradbroke handicap sort of horse, and I feel we've had a great prep with him for it. You need a horse that's strong at the mile, and he ticks that boat, so we just need the luck on racing, and that's what this race is all about. It's about horses getting that right luck, and he's going to turn up in great shape, and it's going to matter if the racing gods are on my side.
I know, you've ticked so many boxes. You've 10 premierships. You've finally got the Magic Millions out of the way. This one is almost the last frontier for the Gollan stable, isn't it?
Well, it is up here in Queensland, that's for sure. There's many things I want to achieve, but this is the race I've always wanted to win. There's no other race in Australia that means more to me than the Stradbroke Handicap, so God willing I can tick that box on Saturday.
I see Jane's trying to now summon the gods, and I think the kids are coming out with you Saturday as well now, aren't they?
Yeah, the kids will be out there before the race to bring me as much luck as I can get. They enjoy coming to the races now. They're at an age where they're starting to understand what it's all about, so looking forward to having them on deck, and look, hopefully we can take home the trophy.
Hey, just a quick one about Freedom Rally. I mean, first emergency. Anything can happen when the Vits get to these horses on Friday. What are your thoughts?
She profiles well for the race. You know, fourth in the weight for age race on the 7-day backup, fortnight into this, dropping, I think it's 8.5 kilos on what he carried there. So, you know, he profiles well. We just got to get him into the field. So we left it up to fate. We couldn't do a deal with the slot, with the Aussie Bloodstock slot. So Peter decided he wanted to leave it to fate, and if fate's on our side and he gets in the field, you'd see his price is shortened right up. So he's in great order as well, but if he doesn't take place in this, he'll take place in the Wayne Wilson Mile.
No. Well, let's hope the kids see Dad dancing on Saturday.
I hope so, mate.
You said this is your first Stradbroke runner, and I mean, it would mean a lot to you as well. For a young trainer like you to get a big Group 1, you've won the Goodwood, things are rolling along for the stable nicely.
Yeah, look, it's a great day to be involved in, as Tony mentioned. We were lucky enough to have a great little mare up here a couple of years ago called Brooklyn Hustle. She won the Dane Ripper on Stradbroke Day, one of our favourite little horses, and great to go one better in a major for Queensland racing.
How's things going overall, mate? I mean, Mornington, you're rolling along, as I said, nicely. The stable's going well, is it? It's one of those games where if you get on top of it, it can be very kind. If you don't, it can be very cruel.
Yeah, look, it's a tough gig, but I think we're doing a good job and training plenty of winners. We've got a small team of horses in Mornington, and we've always got a nice one there to bring to these carnivals. And I think Benedetta's an exciting mare that's proven her worth, and I think handicap conditions really suit her, and it's a race that we've sort of earmarked for her for quite a while.
Yeah, I read you've had her out in the paddock, doing a little bit of beach work. You're just mixing it up.
Yeah, she's a light-framed mare that we don't really punish on the training track. We tick her along down the beach. She has a lap of the pool and a kiss and a cuddle. We just keep her happy, and she's a mare that's done a great job for us. She's never finished any further back than fourth, and very consistent. And like I said, handicap conditions, she gets in terrific at the weights in this race.
And D Stackhouse aboard. He's in form, isn't he?
Look, he's riding really well. He knows our horse. It'll be a fair retail for him to win his first Group 1 on her, and I think the barrier draw is only going to make it easier for him. So we're really pleased and really looking forward to Saturday.
Good to see you, and things are rolling along nicely. That was a pretty impressive win last weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, thanks, Pat. Yeah, it was a very impressive win, and it looks like he's now arrived in as good a form as we can have him in to run his best race this preparation.
Career best that last weekend, do you think?
It's right up there. I mean, he's a pretty good horse who's accomplished a lot already. He's won a Silver Eagle and a Hunter, both races in New South Wales that are worth $1 million in prize money. So they were pretty well sought after. 2 years ago, he won the Fred Best Classic here in Brisbane, so he's got a great affinity with 2 wins already at Eagle Farm, and he's a far better horse at Eagle Farm than he is at Doomben. So that was good to see him show that huge improvement going into the Moreton Cup, dropping back in distance and exploding to the front. And he just needs to reproduce that this weekend on the backup.
Had a couple of Stradbroke runs, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. This is his third crack at it, but never before has he been so well weighted and in as good a form. I talked about him winning the Fred Best Classic 2 years ago. He didn't win it quite as dynamically or as dominantly as he did this Moreton Cup on the weekend. So that's a good catch. That's a good sign.
Now, where do we finish? Barrier 14. What are the plans from there? What do you tell Tim from there?
Well, he comes in 3 with emergencies that are drawn underneath him, and he's got like quite similar early pace to a number of horses that have actually drawn underneath him at the same time. So he's got to have his challenge there, but Tony Gollan's right. The barrier draw in the Stradbroke doesn't seem to have as big an impact on the results if you look through the race historically. But one thing about this race is that there are just so many horses there with similar pace that would love to settle down between 4th and 6th. And he'd be one of those, but he's just drawn a bit further out than those horses, so that just might give him a little bit more to do at the top of the straight.
Hey, this is a pretty special race for the family, isn't it? I think Bart won it 4 times, and when you won it with trekking, Dad won a Group 1 on the same day, didn't it? It was quite emotional, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That was a huge day. It's not so often that you can be part of a day like that, but yeah, that was that. You're right. That was special, and but that's that's in the past now. We've got to focus on Valana, and my team are up here. Some have been up for ages, some have come and gone, but they've done a great job looking after our team of horses that have been campaigning up in Brisbane, and it's a pleasure to be part of this carnival for yet another year.
I'm a little bit surprised to see you up here on a Tuesday night because, as far as I can understand from recent years, Nassim just jumps on the phone and says, "Boss, don't bother coming up. It's pouring rain. It's freezing cold. You'd hate it up here." Yeah,
that's right. It's a privilege to be up here, really, to be part of these carnivals. But like the team, they're all over it. They're very meticulous and they have a great passion for the horses. And the results that we get on the weekend are a great credit to them.
All right, just one quick one. I know the draw's been done for the Atkins. Broadsiding's got 2. That can't hurt.
Yeah, he's not often in his short career so far drawn such low barriers to get those easy runs. So he might be able to just settle that a lot closer than he has when in other races. And certainly over 1,600 metres, that's going to be to his favour in a race that might lack a little bit of pace. But he's got the turn of foot to get himself out of trouble if he needs to. And we're just very confident that he's going as well as he can.
Hey, I just wanted to ask as well, Tony mentioned we're privileged to have all the best jockeys in the country here, but J-Mac, and we know he hasn't got a ride in the Stradbroke because of the weights pretty much, but he'll ride Broadsiding. He's freakish, isn't he, with some of the things he can do, and he seems to be all over. I mean, he rides in Hong Kong. He's just ridden in Japan beautifully. He's great for the industry, isn't he, J-Mac?
He is. He's a wonderfully talented jockey, but he's for as much talent that James has got, he works twice as hard, and if he has a holiday, he doesn't miss a Sydney barrier trial. He doesn't miss a race. He's always on the ball, and whether he's in town or not, and that's why he can go. That's why he can go to Hong Kong and go to Japan, I imagine, because he would have been so well prepared. And when he's on my horses, I know he is because we talk about the races a lot, and it's great to bounce ideas off James because he's always thinking about the horses he's riding, and he's thinking about the people he's riding against and the track he's riding at and the pedigrees of the horses that are behind the horse that he's on. So it's great to have him on our horses from time to time. He rides Broadsiding for us in a very important race on Saturday in the J.J. Atkins. and he's showing no signs of slowing down as he demonstrated on the weekend, notching up 5 winners.